Audio check. Simply switch. Let me go into the dashboard. Yep, that sounds seems to be working both on YouTube and Twitch. So we are good to go. And today, what are we going to do? As from the title, you can guess we are going to. Yeah, this is the buzzword that we are hearing, but we need to understand what is this really. We're not local AI, is it? Local coding AI, local AI coding agent. Okay, that sounds good. So there are two parts here. One is the tools. This is a important part, and other is the model, right? Because I've seen that the models, or I should say, IDs are quite expensive, and okay, I just muted it because I was just hearing my voice. So there are one more thing, which will be the actual agent uh, framework or whatever we are gonna use. But I don't think we will need this here for the simplicity reasons. So I need to understand like why this works because it's quite simple as I have learned from one of the articles which was from AMP code or I don't know what the title of that was really. How to build an agent, I think. Or was it? Yeah, I think this was the one. Yeah, this was practically the like Go version of how to use an AI agent editor. And I want to do it inside Go or Python. I'm not decided yet, but we can. I'm preferably using Go, no doubts here. But yeah, what I'm actually interested in is actually using coding editors, agents, because not they are automative to be done. I just don't feel using it quite often as I like to, and I want them to have sort of this subtle blend of my personality or my style of editing, and then I don't want it to have it complete control of what needs to be done. That what is burst on like autonomy of an agent, like uh, how much control you want to give it, when how much control you want to give the model to handle the thinking. So that is what I want to lower down. Maybe you can do it with IDs, but I am not in a position to uh, get that cost right because Claude 4 costs quite a lot of tokens. And it's not just tokens, but like it's quite expensive and it's quite not on the side of uh, affordability for me. So I'm trying to make it myself, and the model I'll be using is mostly Meta AI. It's an API, but I've made it such a way that it could handle tool calls as well. If that doesn't work, or if it's not in a better way, or what should I say, it's not ethical, then I will switch to using local models like Llama 3.2 or maybe even uh, some small coding specific models for this test. It's just a test. It's not a like something I want to talk about. I just want to use it to understand uh, AI agents in a better way. specifically the coding AI agents. Okay, this is app right sites and it's still showing me it's on the wait list. I've not tried it, but I think this is I might not be able to see it on the cloud, so I'm skipping it for this week as well. And let's see how we will try to um, build this first. So definitely I'm okay. Ghosty had some issues for a while now. Just give me a second. I need to do a few things. Okay, so let's get started with this actual thing. And instead of directly going into the code part, let me actually uh, break down the things that we will be doing. So first, let's read this. I had read it all earlier as well, but I'll go through it once. So it's not hard to build a fully functioning coding agent. That is true. It's just two calls in a loop. It seems it would be when you look at the agent coding and files running commands, wriggling itself on errors, retrying different strategies. It seems like there has to be a secret behind it. There isn't. It's a loop and enough tokens. Yeah, this is what this is what I can't afford. It's what we have been seeing and podcast from the last start. I just watched the sixth episode of this, and that was really uh, most insightful for this hype of remote coding agents, right? Like Jules, Codex, and all of them, and why that doesn't scale for most of the parts, most of the companies. Like we had cloud-based editing, cloud-based IDs, and those are like very rarely used. I had used it like it's very rare. Like I have found the like use case for doing it. I like I only like I have the local access, right. Like why would I go to cloud based IDs? Sure, like I can use it when I don't have an access to computer, right. But if I don't have an access to a computer, how can I access it? So that's a different tangent I've gone behind it. So it seems that if you get behind it, it's a loop and so on single podcast. There's of stuff that makes AMP so addictive and impressive. Elbow grease. What does this term mean really? Manual work. I urge you to follow along. No, really. You might think you can just read this and you can get a type of code, but it's less than 400 lines of code. I need you to feel how little code it is, and I want to see this with your own eyes and own terminal in our own folders. Here's what we need. No, I cannot afford that. Oh, okay. So, okay, okay. I might consider using Python because um, there's no SDK for. We can build that, but at this point it becomes a liability. Okay, so we might use Python here because I already have the SDK for Meta AI. Yeah, I sadly have to use um, Python. Sadly, let's go into agents. Agent. Let's go into. Let's call it agent C. agent coder. So instead of doing this, let's me, oh, maybe we can use UV here. And how do we install UV, guys? Oh, oh, we can install this. Anyways, add okay, we need to add it in the ZSHRC. Wait, what? So UV is alright, it's there now. So UV create a dependencies for to the project. But we first need to create the dependency, right? Or no, we don't need to. Okay, UV init. It already. Oh, oh my god! I also created a Git repository. I suspect that is super nice. Let me run Python main.py. Superb. So we are to start. So pencil is out. Let's dive in and get ourselves a new Go project set up in 4 easy commands. Um, yeah, that is fine. Main.go and client. Okay, so what we do here is basically initialize, I think the prompt and setting up the agent with the API key. Yeah, this is what we do here. So let's get this started first. So what we do is we create a new client here. This will take in the API key from the environment variables. So this is automatically handled by Anthropic's client. We don't have to do it. And then um, this is starting a new scanner, so it will read in from the standard in and get user message. So it will run until we have some text in it. If we don't have any text, then we just return from this function and get the user message. Then we initialize the agent, which is a new agent struct or interface. Yeah, it's a interface. Sorry, agent is a structure, and then new agent is the initializer. Agent dot run. So this sounds pretty much like Pydantic AI, right? If you have seen the video, right? Um, let's create the client and the user message. So this is how it will initialize. But wait, what is the user message? Will it be in a loop or wait and find out? I think there isn't compiler, but what we have is an agent that has an access to Anthropic client, which by default looks for Anthropic keys and that kind of okay. So this is the actual run method. Run run or we can say the iteration of an agent, not an iteration but what do you call an agent cycle, agent instance, maybe that's the right term. Start with Claude, Control C to quit. Then this is a for loop. This is the agent loop. And here we'll take in the user message, get user message. So this will actually go ahead and take in the standard input, standard input from the standard in. Then if there was some message, then we'll append the user message, right? New text block, conversion, append conversation. Yeah, we add the user message and then run the interface. What is an interface? So it will, okay, this is actually calling the end, is it? Okay, no, it's just creating the payload for sending the API, is it right? Messages dot new context, message new params, message error. I suspect this will call the model, right? And then here we will text out. It's not a lot, right? And then also for the hardware, it's pretty straightforward. We first print a prompt, ask the user to type something, and in the conversation, send it to Claude. Add Claude response to the conversation, print the message, right? So here, conversations append. Yeah, this will actually call the uh, Claude or the agent, the model, and then we append that message, right? Two param is what? Okay, this is an anthropic message. So I think this will have some function attached to it, two param. Maybe it will convert it into text. So here we um, message dot content. So let's see it in action. Okay, that I understood what we had needed to do here first. So first we'll just let's see what we'll do first here. Okay, let me create a new terminal. Actually, let me open this village here because that's too much. I need to remember that. Just Alt Tab, Alt, Alt L. Just saves my time. Let's open the main.py and let's get right into it. The first thing I needed here was the model itself, right? So for that we need to head out and install. We're gonna use Pydantic? No, let's call it Meta AI API tool call UV app install. UV, what is that? UV, all right. So we get installed everything that we needed, and then let's import it here from Meta AI API. Import Meta AI is the actual class that we'll be using it to prompt, and so that is the thing that we need. But now let's initialize the loop. So yeah, we first try to visit hello from agency. This right from that we need. So we'll take in the input, which will be user input. We'll take in the input, another prompt, and then what we have to do, create a new agent class. So let's use identic here because why not? Well, let's not create that maybe. Let's create a simple class called agent and the initializer, and this will be self dot model. We'll set it as Meta AI, and we don't need any API keys as such, so that is fine for now. And this will be, yeah, that is also correct. Besides, this is not the self dot model, or this is self dot model dot prompt, right? So it created the, okay, maybe I don't think we need this other thing because it is not Go, right? All right, uh, let's try to create construct this run method, which what is doing is trying to get the user message, so instead of adding it here, we'll call this here, and we'll get the model response. And I think we need to now construct this, what we call the messages. So let's call it a list of messages, and here we'll append this, and similarly this will be the assistant and the code here. All right, then we have this block sorted, and for this I don't think so we need this one. Okay, this might be quite handy because, okay, now this is quite dependent on the model. We'll not dig into here because this will be dependent on what the model responds, if it's a text response or tool call response. So this is that. Let's try to run this and quickly see what we can do here, if it's even right. Right, let's um, run it. Python main.py. Hello, um, I am Neat, and what is and who are you? Are we really hitting the API? I think so. I'm pretty sure. Okay, we are definitely hitting it, but we are not printing it, and that is a big thing. So let's print this and let's run this. This will be a keyboard interrupt. Let's try the same prompt. I am not creative right now. I've switched on my. Okay, it does have the context, which is a nice thing. And yeah, let's actually not print that way. Okay, so here we will have the if condition, which will be if model response uh, dot sorry, okay, this will be the actual message, right? We need to construct the identity classes for this. Let me get okay. But that seems to be the working case. I don't know what I'm doing, but it cannot be a string. It will be a union of string tool call. I think we can get it. Never mind. Need to construct that. Let's define the tools here. Tool definition. Will definitely have a name, not a description. Okay, description. Really? Parameters will be a dictionary. Function. No, it won't be a string. It will be a. How do you define a callable? How to um, add a field in a class as a way function callable, like in Golang. It is callable. Won't be a string, right? Will be any. Oh, any we have. Any. We need a definition here. Let's pass it any which ways. Okay, and yeah, we will need this as well, where we can have the tool response and tool call. So run inference, anthropic tools, and inside of an inference, we are just providing these tools, right? So similarly here, will it be outside or inside? That is the concern. Maybe we can pass in the tools here itself, right? So it will be tools which will be initialized to none initially. If tools, then self dot tools is new. Sorry, tools. Wait, how do we do this? But how will we initialize that? That is my concern. Okay, let's keep on reading here. Oh, we have to do this. Really? I'm telling you, AI is spoiling me. It is really hard to follow tutorial anymore. Okay, let's not focus on tutorial much because it's not really doing anything. So we'll try to come up with something here. The message will be not just a string, it will be also have a role. So if we try to get this, we need to append like so, messages. So we have message with the rule and message type. We'll add something over there later on, but for now, what we need to do is we need to pass in the tools to this, which I'm a little worried how it will be work. We used to pass it here. I'm a little worried. Meta AI. Oh, we are, damn it. Wait, what? Wow, this actually gave correct things. We have the type, so we can infer what type the message is. We have the ID. We don't need that, I think. The name is what we are looking for. The input is what we will have. These two parameters are quite important, the name and the input. So this is correct. So we can now go ahead and actually let's see here we can give in the tools as self.tools, and this should be good to go. Let's add in the tools that we need here. So let us define the tools actually here because tools are independent of them. So we'll say read file. So this will take in the file. Let me see. What was the read file? I think it takes a file path, right? I am live, right? Suddenly I thought I was in live right now. Okay, it's fine. So what we were saying is we will add this read file tool which takes in the JSON ROM. I mean, at this point it has quite a lot of parameters. So let's go with file path here itself, and then have a doc string. So that it can go with the string itself. Doesn't matter really. Then yeah, that is that. Right? Yeah, this is quite a long thing to have it. It's quite a complex thing to wrap the head around, but we'll keep it for now. Ideally, this should be taken from the doc string of read file. So if we can do that, let me check. Can we get a doc string from a function in Python? Oh, that is that simple. Oh, it just gave me that as well. Okay, also the parameters. Also the parameter in dictionary, import inspect. Yeah, let's copy this one. It's quite handy here. So what it does is import inspect, import indic, that should be it. And then instead of defining this here, we need return type though. I don't think so. Let's skip that for now. Inspect What is that? Oh, actually, yeah, let's get that right here. So what we need to return here is the name is pretty straightforward. We don't have it get in there. So and that is that. We provide the tools, and that should be it ideally. Let's test it out. It's been a while. We have to build this. Can you read what we have? Read me. Tool definition object has no attribute get. All right, all right. So tool definition. We are somewhere getting the oh I see we can't have that. Such a thing. Will that work? No. Yeah, because we are passing tools. Still, so tools is a list of tool definition, right? And this tool definition is this. Instead of doing that, we can have a wrapper function. No, no, no. Like, okay, maybe that is wrong. Is looking for the input schema. Need something else as well. Python type hints is words. Typing type. What is it? Type system in Python. Okay, I've not been familiarized with it. Yeah, it's definitely hell. If not that, I don't know what is it then. Get type hints from here. Yeah, I mean, anyways, the model will return to that thing eventually. There's no big deal in that. See, why it is returning a string? Like it's, oh, I knew it was the case, but I didn't check it any which ways. Name. Hmm. Hold on, this is already in the thing that I wanted. So I do we there? It's a wait, was it not? Oh wait, this is wrong. Totally wrong. Let me print what is tool in. Okay, then that was right. I was wrong. But oh, it doesn't require that thing. Pinned this. Be happy now. It's able to read the files. Okay, let's see if we can actually get it to use that file. Read the readme.md file. Okay, link unavailable. How did they solve this? So now we need to execute the tool. So yeah, that is where we will have the second condition in right here, which is if the model responds with the message as a string, right? If his instance is tool use, right? So we can just use tool use. Is a wrong thing to actually do that, but never mind. We have the name and the para. Is it input? We require the input now, and functions are we cannot directly pass that. So let me first try to pass this for. So it will be a kind of dictionary that we need to pass. So let's create a thing here which will be no need to iterate over this. I think this should be sufficient input and arguments. Maybe not, maybe I don't know. So yeah, let's check if this works. Well, What's the content of readme.md file? Let's see if it can figure it out. Main signatures must be integers or slices, not str. So self dot tool with a tool definition, and we need to actually call a function name, which is a list. Oh, it is a list. Wait, how did that? So this is a list of rows, right? That we pass it here, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So how does it know which tool to call? So execute tool, content name and content input. So this execute tool is what handles that. Yeah, it has to go through the tool loop. Tool use for I didn't get it. Never mind. So here there was a prompt. Actually copied the text from there. Okay, it actually went ahead and tried to call it, which is nice. Um, Never mind. Let me try it once more. Here, what's in readme.md file? I should not be surprised if it's empty. Yeah, it is empty. It is 1 6. 7. This is the current time, 20:31:05. Let's check what's the secret in readme. Let me also edit some garbage. Let's see if it's able to actually get that. Should be. I'm not gonna type this again and again. Prompting is so frustrating sometimes that you have an idea, but you are so close that writing code is the better thing. And the secret is wait, it just printed that text out, which is the right thing to do actually. But what's the secret? It's kind of weird that it's actually getting that. What is the code? Nope, never mind. So here I didn't quite understand what was happening because uh, if you see in this case that squint and you see that antivirus was written and whatever, but when we get the message back from Claude, we check whether Claude asks us to execute a tool for looking. Yeah, we check this here, and then if so, we hand over to execute tool, look up the tool by name in our local registry, unmarshal the input, execute it, return the result. So that we return the result here, right? And then if it's an error, we flip a boolean. That's it. Yes, there's a loop in a loop, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, there is a loop in a loop, but it doesn't matter. We're talking about this loop. Which loop? This loop. Loop. another loop. There are three loops inside here. If we hand it over, well, okay, that's it, fine. We execute the tool, send the result back to Claude and ask again for Claude response. Where do we do this? Where do we do this? Oh, okay. Oh, that is so nice. I understood that. I got him, got him. So this way, okay, while true before that loop will have read or prompt user false. Oh, sorry, true. Initially it will be true. If prompt user, then do this. Else just don't do anything. Yeah, maybe. No. Else what we need to do is uh, well, wait. If it's user reader, then but this will. But we have already appended the tool call result, right? So okay, it's getting a little hard to understand here. So tool results we append the. Oh, okay. We are creating a new copy of tool results every time here. If it was already popular, if it was not a tool call, we set the user input as true, so we'll read the user prompt. But if it's not the case, then we'll append that tool result into the new user message. That is the ongoing conversation loop. I mean the conversation history. You can say it context, the context window, and then here I don't know what are we doing here. Run inference. Oh, this is the function that we call that thing. Oh, I'm so dumb here. So, what happens here is if it is true, then sorry, that voice is a little marshaled. So here we'll keep it till this. The prompt will be empty. Interesting. And the prompt will be empty. So in that case, instead of um, if we don't have a way of actually putting the message, that's why I wanted to run this in a better way, but still we will have to like we have to pass in something, right? Like let me check run instance. Yeah, what we do is we loop to the tools and append that tools here. That is not ideal, right? Like that is too much. So never mind. Uh, what I understood is we just pass in the conversation. Okay, okay, this is just wrong thing. Let's keep the prompt empty maybe, and then we have too much of this. Let's remove this. Help me get the wait. First time it really entered the user prompt, but this time we'll directly go ahead and call the tool. And now this is the second call, which will happen after the tool has been executed. It likes the queries message. Please provide the query so I can assist further. Okay, it's in the loop. That was bad. Why it happened though? It is because tool not found. But how did we end up here? It's becoming a little complex. Python is messy, I know, but it's looking bad. Or that this lock are not needed, but never mind. What I wanted to know is self dot messages. Oh, this is forever loop. Have a message here. It seems as if we are not shorting this diagram. which is getting back to zero, is not. But that's not the case either because see here we have two messages. Last message is that last message is when this is getting a little instead of the prompt being empty, let's call the prompt the user prompt. Will that help or will it? I'm not sure, but this will hopefully prevent that cycle because resetting the prompt, I believe it was empty. Now it called that thing and not the result. And repeated this again and again and again. Okay, is the model. So what are we doing now? Let's step through it. If the prompt user is true, then we for the user, then we get the prompt from the user and append the user's message into the prompt. And then we call the LLM with the original prompt. When that is the wrong thing to do. And actually, let's add one more method called call mod, taking the set and you let's not call the message even. So what it will do is it will from the last if self dot messages and else. So instead of calling it here, we'll just call self dot call model, and that is it because we don't need to pass in the prompt anywhere. We'll just use that last thing to get it. So it does get that thing. Mm, thing. I mean, what talking about? So Llama 4 is not a good model. No, 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 not a good model. Nice. And at this point, I'm afraid I didn't get the prompt. Oh, my bad. Got two. You are missing the full definition. For your party needs deep dive. That is messed up. Wait, this time it gave it correctly. And what I want to do here then will be just to defining a dictionary. It's the message from here. Which, so that is already passed, right? How is it causing this? Let's add one more. Okay, so because it's returning, so the called here this will response, right? Basically, we need to sort of get this. If But once built, we are not setting it the false, but then we set it true, set it after this will be user will be because that time the loop goes. This is stop printing based on the why if the how much time LLM calls next because I need precisely that it calls the tools again go down you know but here I make passing so yes so what happens we can't build the will be understood as a string it has that tool right so calling LLM we get Where is it? Will be messing it. That's not messing. Oh, wait. It's calling that again. I think we are missing the element of inputting, like prompting the user. I need to build, like, how was you deciding when call and when. Okay, we run here itself. Again. So if page user and we call we call LLM, right? That's right. And then getting that if so this will be so first user will prompt, that is for sure. Then we append the message of user and the message of prompt. That is straightforward. When we call the LLM, in that case the last message you can see over here, help me the actual prompt. And we prompt the user the tools dictionary. In this case we will return a simple no. In this case the LLM will respond with the tool call, which is the read. And that is how we that the LLM responded with the actual well, not LLM, responded with the agent's function call result right here, and then we have to call the LLM again. So in this case, the prompt user will be false still, and in this case, we will call the LLM here. And the last response, if you would see here, it will be an actual string, right? So bottom, so function response is will keep it as a string no matter what. So that we cannot afford right now, but it's a chat-based conversation. We cannot have like some object showing in the chat because it's a text-based chat, right? Even in agentic uh, IDs, I don't think that will be passing it as an object because LLMs technically can understand it's not what they are meant for. Yeah, I need to just being this should be 1 7 12 7 16 22 23. Oh dear. Cold call, read file, readme.mp, why, what is it? Why is it called? Oh, no, 1 and 6. What happened after this? Oh, no, it actually got it right. But this is not actually a good model because I have named certain things there, which is like it will try to respond the text as well, but at first, so it's not relevant. Statement. Oh, you are useless. Zero and this point. So I think we should respond it with here, which is instead of just being the let's also try to pro don't like will be oh sorry we need keep that oh different. Okay, 1.5. Okay, now I'm up for you. I know what you know, but you are not very useful. Expect more because it's a problem of model, nothing else. That's the excuse I give. It is just error in 2 hours. It got cut in between. Respectful. Doesn't look like we cut it off on YouTube at least. Yeah, we are 1 hour to 57. That's fine. Try to add one more. Files, files 2. This will be to ls, right? Here, that jargon, files, okay, as well. While we are here, edit file, right? Tool that let Claude edit position. So edit file will take in full string and make sense. So file path will be a string, whole content, and this will. Oh wait, so okay, okay. We'll first read in the file if OS not path exists. Sorry, if not, file doesn't exist. And first read in the content. If old content in the content, wait, what? Yeah, okay. If old content in the content, new content will replace old content. Makes sense. No, please stop doing that, right? And I think that is, no, I think that, because we are just replacing the old content with new content. Yeah, because if it is not the case, then we'll just write the whatever new content is. If it is there, then we'll just replace the old content with the new content, right? Unless replace doesn't give anything, it does. Wait, why? Oh, that. Okay, let's test this out with that. Tell me about debrief, whatever. Tell me. It should first call a list files with smart, which it looks like it is. Oh, sorry. Let's see what we have. It gave some. Oh, okay. 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 What Python version is this project using? To the point. Okay, wait, what? Oh, I knew that. Okay, it was, I think Yui did that. And with the last take, did a physical JS. Try it out. Not in, really? No, that's, no, wait, wait, not JS that I can learn with and execute. But I don't think it can, oh yeah, we need to do that. Okay, it doesn't exist. So I'll create one with Okay, wait, did we create and using it makes sense? If it doesn't exist, well, OS dot keyboard. If that doesn't exist, then we just create an site override with the not override, write it into the that should work. We first list the file, and if it doesn't exist, then list it. Not a good run. More than cannot lose. Okay, the problem with this model is it's a chat interface and created tool call and you're not passing it quickly. If you see, we have a tool call here, but we are not calling it because it's like it's not possible, right? Because it's text here and maybe we can do that. You know what? Let's do that. I think let's do that. Okay, we know that sure that those three will be in that order. Maybe we can do that. So once we'll add, it needs to have thinking uh, it, for it to do it has to it has to get the text out for some reason. Maybe it is just me or what the issue is. I know that let's prompt that will if you see that value getting you it's not fixed this here because what here is inside of when we pass the prompt it yeah so we provide this and when we get the payload back sorry the responses back. We try to search for the string, I think only in here we can use GPT. So what can we search the tool called instead of JSON script? More specifically, looks, it looks like I think you will you're trying to extract a JSON object, and then instead of embedding the past JSON inside message, return and declare like this. But wait, what are you doing? Tool? This is nothing. So this is suggesting that we can have open and close. I don't know. Could be a naked JSON. What are you suggesting? Imagine any block starting ending with okay, makes sense. I'll take that, paste it. That is worst case scenario. calling it anyway. I think that because it later on, but today at that part I think we created this, but this is a good start and it was a good that I learned. You can use this doc underscore underscore doc underscore to get the doc string of that. And also one more thing that I learned was that thing was UI was yeah I learned that LLM main typically is short Python version file which helps and which version of Python are we using. Pretty handy to know, at least for limited. So that is that. And yeah, we had great time here. We'll see you tomorrow or something similar. Yeah, we'll be